are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Going out to eat isn't easy anymore for Marby Siebes.
So I would like the chef salad, please.
3 years ago, she had an allergic reaction so severe she spent 2 days in intensive care.
I couldn't breathe, I couldn't swallow, my tongue was swelling.
We're going to do a skin prick test.
Doctors gave her an allergy test. The results were shocking. At age 50, Marby suddenly developed an allergy to one of her favorite foods, shellfish.
It is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand how it happened.
Cases like Marby's are on the rise. A new study finding severe allergic reactions to food have skyrocketed more than 300% over the last 10 years. Half of adults with food allergies develop them after age 18.
It's very concerning because there aren't any warning signs.
Adults often have different symptoms than children, and reactions can be more severe.
Respiratory difficulty and as well as GI symptoms that kids don't get sometimes.
People with seasonal allergies are more prone to developing food allergies. Researchers say it could also be too many processed foods making you sensitive, so stick to a varied diet with a lot of fresh foods. Marby now makes sure to always carry an EpiPen and is extra cautious.
I have a very severe allergy to shellfish. So
One wrong bite.
I could swell up and I don't know what would happen. I don't want to test it for sure.
Not just kids, but grown-ups faced with a growing risk.
Sleep in North Texas and the role your employer could play in getting your Z's.
And sudden severe food allergies in adults becoming more common. Our Bianca Castro is here with some pretty alarming news, Bianca.
Yeah, so imagine you're enjoying your favorite food when suddenly your tongue starts to swell and you have trouble breathing. Well, that's a severe allergic reaction to food that you've loved for years. A new study shows that adults are developing food allergies at a scary rate, up 300% in the last 10 years. The allergies are coming on quickly and without warning.
We really don't have a way to predict and know what would happen when you eat a food. In fact, when someone has been diagnosed with a food allergy, we often tell them that even if you just had a couple of hives the first time you ate the food, it could be full-blown anaphylactic shock the next time.
And coming up on NBC Nightly News, the potential causes of the uptick in allergies and the types of diets you may want to consider to cut your risk. Well, new from the CDC, a third of all American adults don't get their recommended 7 hours of sleep each night. Surprised? Well, of the 4 biggest counties in North Texas, Denton adults are getting their 7 hours more often than Collin and Dallas counties. Tarrant County, in the meantime, had a larger percentage of adults not getting enough sleep. Well, lack of sleep, we know, can play a role in chronic diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, obesity, and depression. So if you are struggling, you should have a conversation with your doctor.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Unbelievable. I mean, I've covered this many times since I've had my channel. I talked to many people about this stuff personally. Now we're hearing food allergies. 300% rise in food allergies, yet nobody has an answer for it. Nobody's saying why. How is this happening? Just continuing to go through life, just like diabetes, which also has a massive increase amongst Americans. I wonder why. And then you get fake news like NBC telling you diabetes and other diseases are on the rise from a lack of sleep. Diabetes is on the rise because people aren't getting the right amount of sleep. Well, for starters, maybe they shouldn't be working 40 to 50 hours a week just so they could give it right back to the government in taxes and have a roof over their head. But clearly, this is what they do to divert people's attention. They're talking about food allergies on the rise. Could it be from all of the chemicals they're dumping in our foods that we're not even eating real stuff when we eat? Anything processed is clearly not real. The vaccinations, the chemtrailing, all of this stuff. This affects our health. This affects our daily lives. Depression, diabetes, anxiety. All of this stuff is caused from what they put in our bodies, what they dump on our bodies, what they're putting in boxes, forcing you to get vaccinations where you don't even know what it's doing to your body. We see diseases on the rise, like Alzheimer's. No answers for that. Why Alzheimer's is up so high. why autism is up so high. They don't question the mandatory vaccinations that they give to children. They don't question that stuff. And they're sure as heck not questioning the chemtrailing, the dumping of these chemicals every day on all of us that we inhale, whether we think we're hiding from it or not. Even if you stay indoors all day, guess what? You're still breathing the same air. It's an absolute joke how in our faces this stuff is. Food allergies on the rise. And people are going, well, we don't know why it's on the rise. Well, why don't we get an answer to that? Why don't people get angry and go, oh, all of a sudden, after, hundreds of years of food manufacturing, now suddenly we're all supposed to just think that all of the rises in these diseases is just a coincidence? What are they going to do next? Blame this on God? Say it's an act from God? Everybody's just getting sick and dying? These are the things that people should be questioning. They can't give you answers because they won't give you answers. They know why this stuff's on the rise. They mock us. They rub it in our faces. Then they tell you sleep deprivation is something that could be causing diabetes to rise. I mean, are you kidding me? You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. They're showing you how adults after 18 years old are more likely to get severe food allergies. As you see with this woman who can't eat sea fish or shellfish or whatever it was she couldn't eat. And most people know somebody who has a food allergy. That's how common it is. Yet they continue to get away with poisoning us. Because people don't ask questions. People just go, oh, don't you think this is the stuff that should wake people up? These statistics where you're just going, what is this supposed to be, a coincidence that all these diseases are on the rise? And then they can't give you straight answers as to why? Let's think about it. Clearly it has something to do with what people are eating. It has something to do with what these individuals are putting in their body. When we look at the labels on anything we get from a grocery store, none of us can even pronounce 99% of what's on the side of the box. Go look at your Cheerio box or whatever cereal you might have. Oats, right? It's supposed to be oats. Then you see stuff like Zadanandi, Dududada. Chemicals. And they tell you, well, the FDA has approved it, so it's healthy for you. Oh, okay. So let me eat some rat poison since the FDA is telling me that I won't die if I eat these Cheerios, but maybe down the line, something really drastic may happen, like cancer, like diabetes, like Alzheimer's. Sure, why not? If the FDA slaps their approval on it, we're supposed to believe it's healthy for us. And this is the kind of crap they get away with. But this is the stuff that should be waking people up. Because they should be going, why all of a sudden? Why? What has changed in the last few years, in the last decade, that would make allergies, food allergies, be on the rise? Could it be from all of the chemtrail? Could it be from all of the chemicals we can't pronounce in the food? The fact that when we buy something in a box, we're not really eating it. The fact that these GMO foods continue to get made. They slap an organic tag on it and a non-GMO tag, and we're supposed to believe it's not GMO? Please tell me you're not buying that. But they're telling you, well, it's non-GMO. Grow it yourself is really the only thing you can trust. Because personally, or a small farmer's market, or a farmer's market where you know the person who, runs it. But you're going to a grocery store and they're slapping on FDA approved non-GMO and you're buying it. I mean, buying it as in believing it. Guess what? These people are nothing but notorious liars and deceivers. They love poisoning us. They love the fact that this is on the rise. They're only reporting on it because, like I said, they test these things out and see if anybody blinks, if anybody does something, if anybody protests, if anybody starts going, hey, we need to do something about this. We need answers. No, because it's not terminal. I mean, it can be. People die from food allergies, no doubt about it. But it's not going to be some mainstream story every day. Trust me, if the news every night was saying, why is this on the rise 300%? Also, why is diabetes on the rise? Also, why is autism on the rise? And they link it to vaccination, talk about all this stuff. Guess what? Then everybody would be on board. But they don't realize that they're under mind control, that they're slaves to this system. It's a complete joke what they get away with. A complete joke. Then nobody says boo. Sure, pass me the box of Cheerios, pass me the Oreos. I'd love to put all of these chemicals that I can't pronounce into my body. It must be safe. It must be healthy. Or you get people who go, well, I won't eat it from a box. I'll only eat organic vegetables and fruit. Well, guess what? You don't know who that's coming from in the grocery. And you sure as heck know you can't trust the FDA. That's for sure. You want to talk corruption? You want to talk corruption? We talk about the CIA, the FBI. The FDA is just as sick as they get too. They approve and allow all of this stuff to go on. This is run by the same people who run all these other secret agencies, okay? This is their goal. They get off on making us sick, giving us diseases. They love glorifying things like autism. Look at the show that's on ABC, a doctor with autism. They glorify it, right? And they go, he's special too. He's normal too. Why do you think they do this? Because they don't want you to go, why don't we get answers for why these kids have autism? Why don't we look into the vaccinations? No. Instead, they glorify it. So they go, no, it's just normal to be born this way. There's nothing wrong with this person. He's not weird. And I'm not saying, of course, they're not weird. They're sick. They're born sick because of the vaccinations, because of the chemical baths that we're taking every day. But instead, they glorify it because they don't want you to question it. They want you to go, oh, no, come on now. He's just... Instead of going, why is he sick? Why are all these kids sick? Why are these numbers on the rise every year? Why does everybody have anxiety and depression? Oh, because we're eating food that would give these things to us, right? Making us sick, making us fat, making us lazy. And they continue to just get away with it because stories like this come out on the nightly news and people just go, oh, boy, you know why? Because then when they get a food allergy, they'll just go, yeah, food allergies are on the rise. I'm not surprised that I got a food allergy. Let me go back and let me get on Facebook and complain, tell everybody, poor me. Instead of going, screw this. Okay, we need answers as to why it's on the rise because it's not a coincidence that all these diseases are on the rise. Something has to be going on, right? That all these diseases would just be flying through the roof here. Alzheimer's, autism. I mean, how many do I need to name? Right? Why would they all be on the rise if something wasn't going on? Instead, they go, well, we're just trying to get to the bottom of it. It's just a weird thing. Oh, okay. Right? So then when people are conditioned into thinking this is normal now, so then they get the disease, they get the allergy, right? Oh, I've got a corn allergy or this or that. Then instead of doing something about it, they're more concerned with going on Facebook and letting everybody out there know that they have it. And go, oh, poor me, and documenting it. And instead of going to the root of the problem and why it's going on and why we allow these people to do this to us. Boy, Judgment Day can't come soon enough. It really can't. I mean, seeing this stuff, seeing how many people are sick, it really breaks my heart because something could be done about it and can be done about it, but we don't do anything because nobody cares. They're more interested in making a PR statement on Facebook than doing something. The FDA... it should be gone. It should be ransacked. The stuff that they get away with, the poison that they put in our food, it's a joke. But they will continue to get away with it because people don't care. Unless they told you this on the news, then people would believe it. But until then, they won't. Oh, this is fake news, right? What I'm saying is apparently would be fake news, even though they're telling you these diseases are on the rise, not giving you answers. And then I'm saying, look at the box, look at the vaccinations, look at the chemtrails, look at all this stuff. Look at how they lie about how food's organic when really it's not. They just slap their sticker on it. It's covered in pesticides and it's GMO. And people just trust. They trust in the system. They trust in the news. They trust in their politicians. They trust in their false idol, Hollywood celebrities. Trust, but they don't trust in God. They don't trust in people who are trying to help get a message out there. They think it's a big joke because they'll go and eat something tonight and they won't see results tonight. They aren't going to just get cancer overnight. and wake up tomorrow with it from the box of Cheerios they ate this morning. But they'll be the ones who regret it one day. Because when they are sick and they're laying in a hospital and they're not getting answers, they could just think back on their lives and think back of the stuff they've been putting in their body, including vaccinations, and the stuff we would allow them to put in our body through dumping it on us in the sky. Yet nobody says boo. It's really sad. It truly is what they do to us. You know, when you see stories like this about diseases on the rise, understand why. It's twofold. Okay, the diseases are on the rise because they're doing this stuff to us. They're making them on the rise. And two, they're conditioning people so that they're prepared for when they get the food allergy. So it doesn't seem abnormal. Like, oh, I remember hearing something about that, right? This gets stored into their brain, into the subconscious mind. And then when they get that food allergy, they'll go, oh yeah, I do remember hearing something about food allergies on the rise. So I'm not surprised that I got one. Okay, instead of going, why in the world would it be up 300% out of the blue? Huh? You think about that instead? What are you telling me? All of a sudden, the wind changed out there? All of a sudden, you know, the something has just changed where everybody's getting allergies. There's pollen in the air and everybody's just getting food allergies from it now? I mean, come on. Any unusual rise in any disease, you can link back to them. And they'll even let you know, because they'll go, well, we don't know why, but hey, it's happening. So be prepared for when you get it. And then they already have you programmed into wanting to tell everybody on Facebook for sympathy. So you could look like a hero. I mean, it's a joke. It's a cycle that doesn't end of mind control. The slavery, the zombie nation we live in, it's just growing day by day because the generations are dumber and dumber. Teens out there don't have a clue for the most part. You know, the large percentage of them, especially from people who listen to my channel who are teens, who message me about what's going on at school and what people are talking about and how they tell their friends and they think it's crazy. And these people can't even process thought unless it's told to them. That's the only way they can process anything that they're processing because they're on autopilot their whole lives. The only truth they believe in is what they're told. They're not trained to question authority. Right? That's what the bullying movement, all that stuff is. It's to conform people, to weaken them, to go along with stuff. And if anyone doesn't go along with what they're told, you tell on them, you rat them out. It's like 1984. It's insane, but it's happening. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.